Councilmember Trayon White, do you have introductions today?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Today, along with Councilmembers Bonds, Nadeau, and Gray, we're introducing the East of the River High-Risk Displacement Prevention Services and Fund Establishment Act of 2019. The purpose of this bill is to provide targeted services and funds for residents in high-risk displacement areas. The goal of this legislation is to avoid and prevent displacement. According to a recent public study from the Institute on Metropolitan Opportunity, more than 38% of district residents, including 35% of low-income residents, live in areas that are at great risk of displacement. Another recent study by the National Community Investment Coalition reports that 40% of the district's lower-income neighborhoods experienced gentrification between 2000 and 2013. Given the city's greatest intensity of gentrification, as these studies show, the number of district residents being affected by displacement are extremely high. The harm that displacement and gentrification is having on our city is too great to be ignored. People are being forced out of their communities and their neighborhoods. The areas that have been specified in this bill are areas that are most vulnerable to displacement and have the greatest need for services to prevent those outcomes. Services that will be provided through this legislation include legal services, strengthening tenant associations, assisting advisory neighborhood commissioners, and making home ownership and foreclosure prevention available to low-income and moderate-income tenants. Part of preventing displacement is strengthening the resource to the most vulnerable and marginalized residents in the neighborhood by providing them with legal assistance, etc. I welcome any co-sponsors.
Thank you, Councilmember White. Are there co-sponsors? I'm going to take the referral under advisement. Further, Councilmember White?
Yes. Today, along with Councilmember Silverman, Bonds, Evans, Grosso, Gray, McDuffie, I'm introducing the James E. Bunn Amphitheater Designation Act of 2019. The stated purpose of this bill is to designate the amphitheater at Auction Run Park as the James E. Bunn Amphitheater. James Bunn was a beloved leader in the Ward 8 community for over 40 plus years, who dedicated his life to service. Mr. Bunn used his keen business acumen to foster economic development and create business opportunities for residents of Ward 8, including owning and operating the Bunn Building, in which he rented out space to Ward 8 entrepreneurs and businesses. Just to name a few of the positions Mr. Bunn held, he served as the chairman of Congress Heights Main Street, executive director of Ward 8 Business Council, president of the Ward 8 Democrats, and is a member of the District of Columbia Retirement Board. This legislation will create a lasting legacy of a lifetime of achievement. I welcome any co-sponsors.
Thank you, Councilmember White. Are there co-sponsors for this legislation? This bill will be referred to the committee of the whole. Further, Councilmember White?
Yes. Next, I'm introducing, along with, I want to thank Councilmember Bonds for yielding, Councilmember Bonds, Todd, Nadeau, Evans, McDuffie, and Gray, a ceremonial resolution honoring Miss Mary Cutbirth. Ms. Cutbirth has been a lifelong community leader, and she's retired union employee of the American Federation of Government Employees. Mary Cutbirth has served Ward 8 in many ways, including as a Village Neighborhood Commissioner for 34 years, Vice President of Ward 8 Democrats, and a Ward 8 State Committee woman for the Democratic State Committee, just to name a few. Mary Cutbirth is what we call a firebird. Mary Cutbirth has fought tirelessly to bring economic justice, equal employment, and educational opportunities to Ward 8. The work she has done for Ward 8 has made a powerful impact, and this resolution is a demonstration to show that she has not gone unnoticed. We want to give her her roses while she is well and alive. I welcome any co-sponsors.
Thank you, Councilmember White. Are there co-sponsors for this resolution? Councilmember Brandon Todd, and list me as a co-sponsor as well. This matter will be retained. Thank you, Councilmember White.